I know that there's another boss fight that looks like it's probably in the sewers, but it's from chapter 6, so it's not even available yet. But yeah, our map is getting very cleaned out, which is good. And we got some more good handle and good trigger parts. It's a temple church. Hey, and there's somebody talking with a name, which means that we should be good to go. Now this should be the gate that I couldn't open before. Boop, door has been unlocked. Unfortunately, I died, so all the enemies that were in the park that I killed and those guys that were in the restaurant that I killed will probably be alive again, but... Alright. Who be you?
Good evening, Miss Price. How are you today?
Okay, how do you know her
Dr.
name?
Reed,
Oh.
I didn't know you had returned from the war. I had a new doctor when you left, but he's not as kind as you.
Always glad to see a former patient in good condition. It's been a long time.
Too long indeed. And as a token of my appreciation, I'll grant you the best price if you fancy buying anything from my humble shop.
May I look at your goods, Miss
Okay.
Price?
It's always a pleasure to have you here, Dr. Reed. Take all the time you need.
Alright, you have, I guess, medical supplies and more rivets, but I don't know. Oh, and a ranged weapons mechanism, I see. Okay. Recycled, sell? More recycled. Alright. Okay, well that's all I need
I hope
for
you can stay a little.
that.
Good evening, Miss Price.
You know you can call me Carolyn, my dear doctor.
What can you tell me about yourself, Miss Price?
I'm still managing my shop. The only difference is, since the quarantine, we're open at night. You, on the contrary, seem to have changed a lot.
Really? Have I changed that much? It must have been the war and the night shifts since my return.
Don't get me wrong, Dr. Reed, you're still handsome. Just maybe a little bit wiser, more serious. It suits you well.
Tell me more about yourself. No new fiancé? I remember you were hoping to get remarried. I'm sure you must have a few suitors.
Who would marry an old bat like myself with a grown daughter and a little business? As you know, I only fancy handsome men like yourself.
Alright.
Have you noticed anything in particular in this part of town recently?
Other than you coming back to cheer me up? Nothing at all, Dr. Reed.
Does your daughter still worry you, Miss Price? I remember you were often concerned about her health when she was younger.
Have you not seen Carol since you returned? She's almost a young woman now. But she'll always remain my sweet little baby.
So you're less afraid?
Some things never change. Carol is still too clumsy for her own good. Sometimes her innocence puts her in real danger.
Why would her innocence put her in danger?
She does not realize how cruel life can be. Maybe I was a bad mother to protect her too much. My poor dear Carol.
You have every reason to be cautious, Miss Price, especially in these difficult times.
Maybe you could talk with her, Dr. Reed. It would be nice to have a man here more often. We would both feel safer.
Alright.
Goodbye for now, Miss Price.
Dr. Reed.
Well, I'm assuming that her daughter's around here somewhere and that I can get more hints about this chick if I talk to her. I also like how this is very clearly a
It's
store and I
locked,
can
alright.
loot the crap out of it. Is her daughter around? I guess her daughter may not be in here with her, but... Hello, hello, good sir.
Good evening, sir. May I ask you what you're doing here at this late hour?
I'm conducting an investigation about the epidemic in this part of town.
And who are you, sir?
I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed from the Pembroke Hospital. May I ask who you are and why all the questions?
I'm Detective Inspector Charles Albright from Scotland Yard.
Oh,
And I don't find your answers convincing. What is a Pembroke doctor doing in the West End at this time of night?
Ooh, I need a hint for this, eh? Well, it doesn't look like this hint changes anything. But it is interesting that I have a hint required.
I'm here on my own, sir. I have no official appointment other than my desire to save lives.
Then we have the same objective, sir. The difference is, to catch my suspects, I use a magnifying glass and handcuffs instead of a microscope.
Microscope is kind of like a really powerful magnifying glass, is it not?
What can you tell me about this district?
I'm the one asking questions, especially when there's a killer on the loose.
What killer?
I'm not going to discuss that with the civilians, sir.
Haven't I told you about the investigation I'm conducting? Perhaps I could help you.
All right, without giving you too much information, I'll tell you this. I'm convinced there is a homicidal maniac on the loose, using the epidemic to disguise his kills.
And what about the epidemic?
We both know the situation is critical, don't we, Doctor? Colleagues of mine die almost every day.
What are you really doing here?
I told you. I'm a detective inspector from Scotland Yard, investigating suspicious cases in the area.
Do you work alone?
Yes, the situation is difficult for the police. Many of us are sick, and since the summer strike, most men apply a work to rule on their patrols.
What about the situation in the East End? Why are there no police there to protect the civilians?
I know, it's a shame, but we just don't have enough men to cover the entire city.
Why are you investigating at night?
Criminals rarely act in daylight, you know. But since you are also a night worker, have you noticed anything strange which requires police attention?
Fergal Bancha, Jeffrey McCullum. Okay, hang on.
Excuse me.
Okay, so Fergal is the big dude that we fought. Oops. Jeffrey McCullum. Okay.
I'd like to report a name, Inspector. Jeffrey McCullum. I'm afraid he's some sort of vigilante, trying to recruit an army of angry citizens.
Then I'll write the name down and transmit this intelligence to the appropriate office. Thank you, sir.
Alright, so that is the leader of the Guard of Previn, by the way. So, haha, screw you, buddy.
Tell me all you know about that homicidal maniac you're looking for.
I'm not even sure there is only one. The wounds are always the same, but the modus operandi varies. Sometimes violent and brutal, sometimes precise and swift.
How could different killers inflict the same wounds?
That's my main problem. If my theory is correct, maybe we're facing a group of individuals sharing the same violent tendencies. Perhaps a sadist cult.
What are you investigating, exactly?
I currently have a few missing persons cases. Mr. Tadao Kimura and Miss Louise Teasdale. I'm afraid they may have been abducted by my mysterious maniac.
Tell me
I mean,
about
I've already
Louise
rescued
She's
Louise
a waitress.
Teasdale, so...
Her father reported her missing. We don't have enough men to search for her, sadly.
Do you have any idea where she could be?
No. But I feel she's been abducted. She went to a pub a few nights ago and vanished. I thought about the sewers, but I'm not equipped for such an investigation.
Tell me about Mr. Kimura.
Mr. Kimura is a businessman who has been missing for a few days. He didn't go home, didn't go to work, didn't go back to his family.
Where was he last seen?
Mr. Kimura was last seen at the Royal Observatory in Greenwich. I followed a possible lead in the West End, but I found nothing.
Yeah, we haven't
Goodbye,
seen a Mr.
Detective
Kimura,
Inspector
right?
Albright.
Goodbye, Dr. Jonathan Reed. I'm sure we'll talk again soon.
Oh, I guess I haven't been looking for, like, And what about the other chick? Did she have? Oh, I see. She's downstairs, not upstairs. Is there a way for me to get down there? I mean, there's the sewers, but obviously I'm not going through the sewers to find this chick. Maybe I have to do something to get in the, Oh!
Be careful, Carol. You're wasting good food here.
Yes, Mother.
I said be careful, child. I'm sorry, sweetheart. Mummy has been so clumsy again.
No, that's okay. It won't bleed for long.
You're so pale. Are you feeling sick? Do you need to see a doctor?
No, I'm fine. I already saw the doctor last week.
Don't be silly. You must see a doctor. Just don't tell him how clumsy your mummy is, all right? I love you so much, my baby.
I love you too, Mother.
Ah, one of those parents saying. So I imagine then that the only way to get there, to get down there, is probably through this door then. But I can't go through it while she's there.
It's locked.
But let's see, maybe now that I've witnessed that, maybe I can talk to her and
You know
get
you can
the
call me
key to
Caroline,
go down
my
there or
dear
something.
doctor.
Like she'll let me go see her.
Tell me, Carolyn, do you often wound or hurt your daughter by mistake?
No. I always thought it was Carol's clumsiness that caused these incidents. Maybe it's a family trait, Doctor.
You really believe it's just bad luck and being clumsy then?
Of course, Doctor. What else could it be? I have nothing to hide.
I don't know how to get down there.
Goodbye for now, Miss Price.
Dr. Reed.
Vampyr,
I am glad to see you.
Carol Price. Oh, okay. So apparently I just... Oh, there she comes right now. I was going to say, apparently I just have to wait for her to come up into the shop. Because it just straight up says that it's inaccessible. Or she's inaccessible, so...
I am...
Dr.
Good
Reed.
evening, Miss Price.
I am
I'm Dr. Reed. Do you remember me?
Dr. Reed? Yes, of course. You are the doctor who healed me and my mum. Good evening, Dr. Reed.
Good to see you too, Carol. Are you all right?
Oh, yes. I did not hurt myself recently. I know how to take care of myself now. I'm almost a grown-up.
Why are you awake at night, Carol?
I am helping my mother in her shop. It's not easy, but I'm a grown-up now.
I'm sure your mother is grateful for your help.
I do the best I can. But I'm so clumsy sometimes. I drop things. I injure myself. It's a good thing my mother has the patience of an angel.
Why is work not easy? Is something or someone bothering you?
I know, most people are gentle with me. But I'm so nervous sometimes. I pay no attention and hurt myself. Good thing my mum learned first aid.
What can you tell me of the people living nearby?
I don't speak to many people, except our customers. It's not easy to make friends. And with the epidemic, it's even more difficult.
What can you tell me about the epidemic?
Some of our regular customers have left London. Some others Only send their housemaids now? Everybody fears the contagion. I've even seen men with weapons.
Have you no friends at all?
No. Mr. Nithicut used to pass by and was always nice to me.
Does he not come by anymore?
No. Mum said he was weird. Always reciting poetry about a girl he'd met in Whitechapel. I wonder who this camellia may be.
Do you enjoy working with your mother?
Oh yes, Doctor. My mother raised me alone after my father died. We've always lived together, and she has always watched over me.
Do you remember your father?
No, I was just a baby then. My mother always told me how strong and good he was.
Do you ever think about getting married, now you're a woman?
Oh no, Dr. Reed. Mum always says I'm still a child who has no idea how tough life can be. No husband would like a clumsy girl like me.
Is it true you often hurt yourself, Carol?
Yes, it's true. I try to behave, I really do. But one way or another, I always end up injured or wounded. I'm so stupid.
Why would you be stupid?
It's like I can't help getting under my mother's feet. That's how I end up being pushed, cut, or burned. You see, I'm a stupid girl, really.
When exactly do these accidents happen?
Ever since I was little. That's why I need to stay with Mum. I'm not capable of taking care of myself.
Goodbye, Carol.
Alright. Let's go have a chat with Mommy Dearest here.
Good evening, Miss Price.
sir.
You know you can call me Carolyn, my dear.
Carol's gratitude is exemplary. She seems determined never to leave you.
I'm taking care of my daughter as well as I can. It's not always easy, but she's the best gift life gave me.
But she'll probably leave you someday to live her own life. Will that be difficult for you?
Why would she leave? Children sometimes stay with their parents until the end, for they know no one else will love them as much.
You are responsible for your daughter's many injuries and scars, Carolyn. You brutalize her, don't you?
How could I abuse my own flesh and blood? This is nonsense. It would be like hurting myself.
You really believe you've done nothing wrong, don't you? How long has this been going on for? I should have seen it when you were my patients.
Seen what? Child abuse? Are you mad, Dr. Reed? I dedicated my whole life to my precious Carol. She is a part of me.
Yes. Even her name is just a part of yours. This is a terrible tragedy. Something of an unknown disorder. My God. Abuse that comes from overwhelming love.
I can't believe what I'm hearing. How dare you say something like that? What kind of a monster do you think I am?
Speak to me, Carolyn. Why do you behave like this? How does it make you feel to hurt Carol before cajoling her?
I don't know. It makes me feel good to take care of my daughter. I need to feel useful. No one ever takes care of me. I need someone to take care of me.
Do you realize Carol is a person? Not a toy, not a doll. The poor girl would put her hand in a flame to please you. You are both trapped in this toxic relationship.
Carol and I are perfectly happy. Leave us be. How stupid I was to believe you could be a suitable husband.
Alright, well that's all of her hints. Ooh. Let's see, does this make a difference? Okay.
I'm not judging you, Carolyn. I believe you're a victim too. I'm just trying to explain that you need medical help.
You will not separate me from my flesh and blood, Dr. Reed. We'd rather die.
Well, believe for you, I could definitely separate you if I
Goodbye for
wanted
now,
to.
Miss Price. Good evening, young lady.
My mother always prefers when people...
You need to understand you are in danger, Carol. Your mother is responsible for all your injuries.
That's a lie. She has always taken good care of me. She only gets irritated when I get under her feet. It's my fault. My mum loves me so much.
Yes, Carol. Your mother believes she loves you as much as you're convinced she loves you. But you are both trapped in a toxic relationship that puts you in danger.
What are you saying? That she lied to me all these years? That she wants me to be miserable? My mother has dedicated her life to my safety.
Your mother is terribly sick, Carol. She suffers from one of the most sadistic attitudes I've ever encountered, and tortures you with a twisted sense of love.
No, my mum loves me and only wants the best for me. It's my fault if I can never do anything right. She deserved a better girl than me.
Well, that's all of her hints.
Goodbye, Carol.
I am sorry, I can't...
Alright, we still haven't come across anybody who needed any medicine, but we still have a few... Ooh, oh, I thought he had purple hair. He's wearing a turban. That makes much more sense. Got another... Oh. Like I was saying, we have another eavesdrop potential here. I wonder if that guy is. Or these two, for that matter, but I mean... Usher Talltree is potentially what that guy, what the turban guy's name is.
I can't believe we are still waiting.
We should be far from town already. All right. But where would we go? Anywhere. Anywhere that isn't here. And what is that, by the way? A safer place? A less strange place? And where would that be? Life is strange. And we are alive. For now, yes. But for how long? If we decided to flee, we should be far from town already. All right. But where would we go?
Alright. So these two want to leave.
The Spanish flu is not the only hidden killer around here.
Okay, so there is a quest in the game that we're going to get right away, where you have a choice that results in you getting two different rewards. One reward you need to get the Lore Keeper trophy and everything like that, and the other reward is another hint for Usher down there. Now supposedly there's a way to get both. I'm going to attempt it. And we'll see how that goes. Alright. Two very weird
Good evening,
people.
sir. I am Dr. Jonathan Reed. Do you need my help?
Yes, please. Would you be kind enough to tell me what the time is?
That's all you need to know.
Well, is it not important to know? As important as where you are? Or who you are?
I suppose you're right.
Agamemnon.
And who are you then, sir?
I am Agamemnon Baker. Like my brother, I think we need to leave this city immediately. And my brother and I rarely agree on anything.
May I ask what you're doing outside at this hour of night?
I don't know. You should ask my brother instead. It was his idea in the first place.
You must have your own ideas.
From what I have managed to understand, I guess we're supposed to wait here.
waiting for someone to come.
What can you tell me about this part of town?
It's the only place I've considered myself happy. Or at least that's what I believe. Unfortunately, it's time to leave.
Why is that?
Because I'm not feeling happy here anymore. Are you?
I mean, probably not, in all honesty. I mean, he got turned into a vampire, he has a thirst for blood, he's constantly in fights. He had to kill his own sister. I mean... Now, according to this, it doesn't seem to matter what I answer this. Yeah, it doesn't seem to matter, so, you know.
What kind of question is that? What am I supposed to answer, exactly?
The truth. And I believe you just did it, actually.
Let's see, he's also healthy. Damn, a lot of healthy
May I
people in this
ask
part
why
of
you've
the
not gone
city.
already, if you're so exasperated by this long wait?
I believe fear is holding us back. My brother would have said it's laziness, but it's just because he's prouder than I am.
What can you tell me about your brother?
He's older than me, I think. But
Look at that, you can pause
the
game while
important
you're
thing
talking.
is that I really hope I'll die before him. Grief would just kill me, you know?
Is that all?
Pericles is very attached to this city, and without my insistence, he would never leave this place.
Agamemnon and Pericles, eh?
We don't often agree on anything, you see.
Some interesting names you guys got.
Who are you waiting for, exactly?
The more I think about it, the more I believe it's not exactly a person we are waiting for.
But what else could it be, then?
I don't know. A feeling? An event? An impulse? How can I tell? Something that would allow us to leave this trap.
I'm afraid I'm not following you. What kind of trap are you talking about?
Have you ever felt like life trapped you in a role that does not fit you? That you are not in your place? That sort of trap.
Trap? And you think leaving London will free you?
At least it will give us the chance to be free. That's more than our present situation. Hope, Doctor. Hope is what truly drives mankind.
What are you really afraid of, Agamemnon?
The problem is, it's precisely what I don't know that frightens me. So I suppose I can't really answer your question.
Yeah, weird.
Goodbye for now, Mr.
Well,
Baker.
2 more hints, but maybe his brother will enlighten us.
Good
It
evening,
doesn't
sir.
look like either
I'm
of them
Dr.
have
Reed.
like choices
Can
that
I
make
be
a
of
difference in their
assistance?
dialogue.
Dr. Reed? Dr. Reed?
Is there anything wrong?
No, it's just... Your name sounds familiar. And your face. Have we met before?
I think I would remember. So I suppose the answer is no.
That's odd. I'm certain I've already heard of you. My name is Pericles Baker. Does that mean anything to you?
I'm afraid not, sir. But it's a pleasure to meet you anyway.
The pleasure is mine, I guess. I only wish I could remember when it was that we met.
He's also healthy.
Tell me about yourself, Mr. Baker. What are you doing out here in the middle of the night?
We are waiting. Waiting for someone.
And why are you waiting for this person?
Because we need to leave this city. As soon as possible.
Why do you want to leave the city?
I'm not really sure.
So these guys are clearly been
Can you
taken
tell
over
me
by a
anything
vampire,
about
right?
this?
Like,
As you
they've
like
been
asking
mesmerized.
questions so much, would you allow me to ask you one first?
Please, be my guest.
Do you like this city?
I know we are not living in the most peaceful of times, but I have learned to appreciate London's complexity.
Yes, me too. This city tests us. It invites us to find ourselves, to discover our true nature scattered throughout its dark streets.
But what if we don't like what we find?
Do we ever know who we are? I wonder sometimes. Or maybe it is the journey to find out who we are that changes us.
And what do you do, sir? For a living, that is.
I stopped working when I decided to leave. When I realized what I wanted. Wanted something this city can't provide.
But what were you doing before you took this decision?
Does it really matter anymore? Considering the past seems so pointless to me. I have lived in this city all my life. And now I think it's over.
Tell me more about why you want to leave London, then.
I just don't belong here anymore. I had to convince my brother to leave London because I know we need to find another life out of the city.
Pericles, tell me why your brother disagrees with your presence here.
Agamemnon is naive sometimes. Although don't consider him a fool, sir. He is often more lucid than me.
At least you both have the same difficulty explaining what you're doing, and for what reason.
But is that not a common problem for all mortals?
What can you tell me about your brother?
If you are searching for a pleasant chat, you should speak with him instead of wasting your time with me. He's always been the more gentle of us.
That's it? That's all you can tell me about him?
For the time being, true kindness is the most valuable quality, my good sir.
Tell me more about your strange feelings towards the city.
I would be happy to describe them, but it's too hard to explain with mere words what I'm feeling. It's unclear, too confused.
Go on, please.
Where should I start? The world is chaos. Men go mad, and nature itself runs roughshod over us all.
This is not the first time mankind has faced a deadly epidemic, or a war.
Men kill each other, while nature decides to kill them all. I don't know what scares me the most. Do you?
Both can be disastrous, and a combination of the two merely increases their potency.
And what if they were just a sign of worse disasters to come? Something of biblical proportions, I wonder.
Who are you waiting for? I'm sure he has a name.
I really can't answer that question, since I don't know that person.
And why is that?
This person is mostly my brother's acquaintance. I don't even know his real name. Only that this man could help us leave this city once and for all.
But why would you need this person's help to leave London anyway?
Well, I thought we should have left this cursed place already, but my brother convinced me to stay a while longer, and here we are.
How long have you been waiting for this man?
Sometimes I feel as though I've been waiting for him for ages. Perhaps it is my role in life to wait for him. Not a pleasant thought.
It could be dangerous for you, waiting here all night.
That's quite true. But what other choice do we have? We are waiting here until we finally go.
Mr. Baker, I have met many strange people during my life, but you are definitely one of the strangest.
Really? I don't feel particularly odd or weird. All I want to do is leave. What's wrong with that?
Why are you still waiting for this person?
What would be the point of going before meeting the man, as he's going to help us leave?
Pericles, what are you going to do now?
I don't know. Perhaps it's time to leave. Perhaps we should stay a little longer. How can I tell?
And where exactly are you thinking of going?
In a place where I will finally have that feeling, to be where I belong. The world has to be meaningless chaos to make such a heaven plausible.
Goodbye, Mr. Baker.
Alright, so now let's see if that
Good
unlocks
evening,
stuff.
Mr. Baker.
Sorry, Pericles, I want to talk to your brother again.
Hello again, Dr. Reed.
Tell me, how long have you been waiting here?
I can't say for sure, since I have no watch. But the night is still young, and I am not tired.
Is that the most honest answer you can give me?
Yes, I think so. Why does it irritate you, sir? Is comprehension really that important to you?
I'm a scientist. I try my best to understand things. I know the world has to obey unbreakable rules.
You know, or you want the world to obey such rules?
I know one thing. I do not understand who you are.
And it's better that way. What kind of life would we live if we could summarize a person in a few words or a few lines?
If you finally manage to leave London, where do you intend to go?
A happy place, that's for sure. A place where I can smile because I know the next day will be better than the previous one.
Such a place doesn't exist. There are never any guarantees that tomorrow will be a better day.
That would mean I have no hope left, and I just can't accept such a conclusion.
Alright, so we got, I think, both guys done now.
Goodbye for
And
now.
neither of them are sick. Yep. And they're both done. Alright. So we got the eavesdrop, got the brothers done. How long have we been going? I know we're definitely into a two-part territory here. Yeah, this seems like a good enough spot. We'll end it here. And then next part we'll go talk to Usher and do his quest, because he's the last... Oh, no, there is another person here. Oh, okay.
There is something strange.
No,
and
so yeah,
inconvenient about
Usher down there
so
in
much
the
violence
basement
around us,
of
but
this
still,
church,
I
maybe?
don't feel afraid.
Could be a church. Is the,
Too many murders to investigate them all.
is the last person that we need to talk to right now. And then, so yeah, we'll talk to him, we'll do up his quest. Hopefully, because like the whole point of his quest is you have to go get a notebook, and then whether or not you read it determines if, oh, nice. Just a straight hideout on the ground floor of something? Well, well, well. Let's see. And this leads out to the back, I guess? And there's some ruined garden out there, but we'll leave that for now. Ah, I see. The true hideout is here. But yeah, you have to go get his journal, and if you read it before you give it to him, you get a hint for him, but then he doesn't give you the reward, which is some notes that you need for the lore achievement. And if you, yeah. But supposedly, if you start the conversation with him without reading it, and then while Jonathan is telling him, here's your notebook, and I haven't read it, like, as he's telling you that, if you pause the game and read it, you actually get both. So I'm going to attempt that. Whether or not it'll work, I have no idea, but I will attempt. Oh, nice. And Milton's shotgun is going up. And I have the... Oh, and I have enough rivets for the increased firepower. Fuck yeah. Boosh. 806 damage shotgun. I doubt that I have enough for... Yeah, I don't have enough good trigger parts. Do I have... I know I got another good handle, but is it going to be enough? Oh, I need one more good handle part. Oh, so close to get the perfect hacksaw. So close. Oh, wow, look at that. 156 up to 240 damage. Like, damn. I guess it did jump up by 40. It went from 9... Okay, so it jumped up 24. Went up by, like, 42. And now it's going up by, like, what, 84, I think that is? Like, damn. Alright, well, that's good for me. Where's my steak, though? Tiny good handle part, alright. Stun... Nope, let's go with stun. And I don't have nearly enough tiny good handle parts, so... Alright. So that'll be it for this part, then. Like I said, we don't need any medicine as of right now. Louise will need a headache medicine, but since I have to sleep, I'll wait to make that, because there's a chance. Because I don't know exactly how it works, but I know that at the very least there's a chance that when when I sleep, their illnesses will progress. So that'll be it for this part. Thanks everybody for watching, and I will see you on Saturday for more.